what's up, Cinefolks? Welcome back to the Classics, the cinematic movie podcast that takes you back to the iconic films of 20 years ago, right here on iHeartRadio. I am Jay Alonzo, and with me is my guy,
David Snazzer Neff. In the building, what's going on?
Neff.
David Snazzer Neff.
You are just like you just came from work.
Or church.
Or going to a really dope, like, wine.
Caviar bar.
Yeah, like wine and cheese.
You know how
function.
I do, baby.
A very wine and cheese heavy function.
Kind of snazzy. No, I mean, I did just come from work. It's been a long week. But,
it has been.
It has. But you know what? I'm excited. I'm here with you. It's always so good to see you, man.
Dude, how's the week been so far?
It's been busy for me. Like I've been having like 12, 14-hour days here. So you know, my days have not been that exciting, Jay. How about yours?
My days have not been exciting either, but fuck, have they been busy?
Yeah,
we've just been kind of just putting stuff together, and of course, our regular 9 to 5s, you know. But we got some stuff to cover today before we get to our main topic. Me and Dave caught Avengers: Infinity War, which I'm sure all of you have at this point.
If you haven't, you are a terrible human being.
Super stuck on the right. Now, we're not going to talk about the movie itself, except I am emotionally marveled out.
Yes.
As of right now.
Yes.
But it is definitely safe to say that Avengers: Infinity War is beyond successful than any of us really imagined. I think as of right now, $808 million.
808s, man. 808s
808s and heartbreaks. Shout out to Kanye. Wow. Okay, so we won't touch on Infinity War. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's well worth the price of admission. I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah, me too.
Like soon.
I'll say this about it. If you've never seen any Marvel movie and you walk in there thinking that's going to explain everything,
you, my friend, are fucking lost.
And you are going to think, well, this is a piece of shit movie. Saying, and you know what? Shame on you. I'm serious. I'm calling you out here.
But can you imagine? Like, can you imagine? Like, not seeing not a single Marvel movie, and then, this looks interesting. I'm gonna go see Avengers: Infinity War. Not having seen no Marvel movie ever.
You would have many references that go way over your head.
That person, like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? I am so lost. Like, okay, who's the purple dude? Like, if my mom, God bless her, if my mom went and saw Avengers: Infinity War, and my mom knows, like, my mom, I love having, like, our movie nights, but sometimes it's like, Mom, just watch the movie, please. Like,
why
so,
she
so
like?
Why is he flying? But why does the purple guy want the diamond earring that's inside the robot's head? But why does so Black Panther's in this, right? Okay, so Black Panther, does he die? Will he die? He'll come back, right? I'm like, Mom, just watch. But then again, you can't expect people who aren't fully invested like we are.
You know what? You know Mystery Science Theater 3000, right?
Yeah.
I kind of want that with your mom now. Like I want the three of us. You know what? Bring Los. That's cool too.
Los knows. Los totally understands my
let's
play.
Sit down and we're gonna show her a Marvel movie. And I just want to review.
No,
I just want to see what happens for the next 2 hours.
She loves Black Panther. She loves Black Panther.
Right.
Me, her, and my daughter went and saw it. But my mom is the type to where, like, for example, I remember years ago we were watching the first Resident Evil.
Oh.
Right? And when the devil dogs kind of talk,
right.
They attack. I remember my mom watched the screen, just bewildered, like, are those dogs? And I said, yeah, those are dogs. Those are actual, like, devil demon dogs.
Why are they devil dogs?
Why are the dogs evil? This is Resident Evil, whatever. Anyway, but it's imperative. Like we always say, well, a lot of these Marvel movies, like you don't necessarily need to know the whole story. Avengers: Infinity War, you need to at least know something.
You need, honestly, you probably need about 6 movies
to really understand
what's
going on
and
here.
Then you should be okay. But you get the idea. We're not going to talk too much about that. Their latest trailer did just drop today, though. Let's talk about that for a second.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
I'm into it. The first Ant-Man, which even rewatching it for the MCU show, which, by the way, thanks to everybody who tuned into the breaking down the MCU show with us and Los and Hollywood Kev from the Noise. That was a fun show.
It was. It was a long show.
It was a long show.
But you know what? You know what I loved most about that show was we had such good flow. Not just between me and you, but between the four of us. Like that collaboration.
We were definitely Geeks United.
Yes.
Definitely some Geeks United, which I appreciate. So shout out to them. But how did you feel about it? I love the first Ant-Man. I thought it was great.
I was a big fan of it. I thought they did a lot of little comedic things. That's like it's because you get a Marvel movie and it's like this big epic grand scale, and it's like one of the scenes that still cracks me up in the first Ant-Man is when they fall out of the briefcase and land into the pool, and then Yellow Jacket comes charging in and he just smacks him with the paddle and he gets hit in the bugs out.
Yeah, I love that part too. But just like you said, like we're gonna go back to Infinity War too. I don't want to, but Infinity War is so emotionally heavy. This trailer was just the cleansing of the palate that we need.
It is, because the bottom line is that you got to produce something that people are going to want to watch. You know, and we all knew that everybody was going to go and want to watch Infinity Wars, but the bottom line is that Ant-Man isn't a very emotionally heavily invested character, because he doesn't really have too much to lose if you really. I mean, he
can straight to him and he can go giant, which I do love the fact we get a lot of giant man in this trailer too.
My favorite part of the trailer though had to be the end, the introduction of Lawrence Fishburne as Goliath.
I liked it a lot, but for me, my stand-up part was the very beginning. Cause we basically know who's gonna run the show. Like we have Ant-Man, the Wasp is the warrior, if you will.
Right.
Ant-Man's really just there for comic relief. But I love the scene where he is Giant Man. He's pretty much riding that truck like a skateboard.
Right.
And then as the bad guys are shooting at him, he kind of like he rides one truck, just kicks it out the way, like move. and then the cutaway shot is from the restaurant when he's trying to stop the moving truck, but he's giant as shit. I love that, and I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to be that good cleansing of the palate from such an emotionally. Don't forget, we have to get back to being emotionally drained next year for part 2 or whatever the fuck is going to be called.
Right.
So between now, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel's next, and we're back on this emotional train with the Avengers Part 4.
Right, which Marvel really has to be careful treading the line here a little bit, because as much as next year is going to be literally a closing of the book, they really got to be okay being lighthearted most of the way leading up to this, because, man, you're going to walk out of that theater and you're gonna have a lot of questions, like why is this happening now? You know, and go watch the movie.
I feel as if Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to be really heavy on the comedy, and it kind of has to be
good.
You know, and
I'm all for it.
I'm actually cool with it being strictly a comedy, to say the God honest truth, because it's just that's why you got a talent like Paul Rudd involved,
right? To
give you that. Whew, okay. I'm relaxed. I'm good now. I'm ready for a good laugh.
He's a lovable guy.
And like I said, the adding of Fishburne, the return of Michael Pena, T.I.'s back in it, Evangeline Lilly. I'm looking forward to it. Michelle Pfeiffer's being added to it now, so I'm really, really looking forward to Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. And one of the trailers that we caught right before, look. We all know why this trailer came out in the first place, because you have these internet videos of athletes that dress up as old men, kind of schooling these kids everywhere. I know it kind of started with soccer a little bit, but then didn't Kyrie Irving?
Nike developed this webisodes called Uncle Drew, and it's based off of an older legend, Rucker Park type of legend of a basketball player, which is ironically played by Kyrie Irving in makeup.
Right. And
by the time, and the kicker is, this old man comes out, and, the young bucks are out there. The young bucks are out there doing their thing to see this old man. Oh, I'll beat your ass, old man. And of course, the old man has crazy ball skills. Of course. It's fucking Kyrie Irving.
Of course, Kyrie Irving.
So, these debuted a few years back. I want to say 10 to maybe 2012. I could be completely wrong my days,
Wow.
but here we are now in 2018, in which and I do believe Nike has a stake in producing this movie as well. But Fox Searchlight has now hired the no, not Fox Searchlight. Jesus, fact check it. Fact checker Dave with his nice blue shirt will fact check this for me. But the director of Drumline, Charles Stone III, has directed the official Uncle Drew feature film starring Kyrie Irving.
And you know what? It looks fun.
Great. I mean, as cheesy as it looks, and it reminds you of something like a Space Jam, or it reminds you of something that it's just a feel-good time at the theater. You know, you got Shaq in there, you got Lisa Leslie in there, Nate Robinson is in there. Of course, you know, you have the hot comedians of today, Lil Rel's in there, Mike Epps, JB Smoove, Tiffany Haddish. The movie itself just looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does. Real quick, PepsiCo is the one that is developing the script with partnering up with Temple Hill Entertainment.
Yes.
Is who is putting it together. But it looks like fun. Like you know, we kind of had this in the 2000s with Bow Wow. He kind of had his like Mike, series and that was cool and whatnot. Juwanna Man for all the ridiculousness.
It's actually been
that
a long
movie
time
was.
since a really good basketball movie has kind of came around.
It really has.
And actually earlier today, me and some friends of mine were actually like kind of discussing like what's like the best basketball movie ever. See, like think about it, like Blue Chips, Space Jam. You would count as a basketball movie. As a basketball movie.
No, you have to.
Coach Carter,
Hoosiers.
Hell, The Sixth Man with Marlon Wayans. You know, it's not necessarily a basketball movie, but it's set around the sport of basketball.
Let me ask you, just real quick, off the top of your head, what's your favorite basketball movie?
Ooh, that's tough. I got the exact same question earlier today. I want to say it'll be either between Coach Carter,
solid pick,
or Sunset Park.
Ooh.
Sunset Park. I'm leaning more towards Sunset Park only because Sunset Park is the grimy New York,
right?
You know, high school basketball, and they're going for it all. And the crazy thing is, it's not the happy ending you expect.
Right, of course.
They lose the game.
Right.
So if you haven't seen Sunset Park, fucking shame on you. This is over 20 years old at this point. But Sunset Park just reminds you how fun the sport of basketball is.
Right. I think mine, you know, I'm a little biased because I kind of grew up watching this movie, is going to be Hoosiers.
Good pick.
You know, it's kind of based on a true story. Dennis Hopper, obviously Gene Hackman plays a coach, and this was like a winning club for such a long time. And he's kind of changing up the entire fundamentals of the game. And then they had to convince this star white basketball player to kind of figure things out. But then the scene with Dennis Hopper playing the drunk dad, having to coach just real quick, and just having to coach, and he realizes that like this may be his biggest moment in his life that he has had in his to impact his kid's life, and he just fucking nails it. There's a sense of reality that and there's a sense of honesty that I can really feel with that, because I could definitely see Dennis Hopper being that guy.
This is actually a really good segue into today's topic.
It really is.
I like how you did that.
You see how you like how
he did that? I like how he did that. I like how he did that. So, fuck it. Let's do 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, 2-minute drill, good people. You know how we do. We're back at this thing. Dave, is the clock ready for 2-minute drill?
And
3, 2, 1. 2-minute drill starts now. What did Jake use as an excuse when the store employee saw his ankle bracelet?
Oh, arthritis.
It's an arthritis thing. Correct.
It's an arthritis thing.
Mm-hmm.
What? This is gonna be a tough one because I gotta get you here. Man, we may have to restart this one over. All right, here you go. What is the university that he actually saw that John Turturro was actually the coach of?
Oh, damn. Is it Notre Dame? No, it's not Notre Dame.
Tech University.
Tech University. God damn. All right. Who plays Booger?
The actor?
Yes.
I want to say it's Travis Best, but that's Kip. I'm not going to get it.
3.
I'm just going to say I'm not going to get it.
Hill Harper.
Hill Harper. What were the 2 colors in the high school uniform?
Blue and white.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How much time we got left?
We have about a minute.
Okay, so what's Jesus' girlfriend's full name?
Man. Lala Bonilla?
Venita. Close.
Venita?
Is Venita? I believe it's Lala Venita.
Is it? You're going to have to fact check that one.
Yeah, I guess we can fact check that one really quickly.
What was the number that? What was the number on the jersey?
Oh Jesus! Jesus! Bonilla, actually, Lala Bonilla. So I got that wrong. You got that right.
Awesome.
Oh my God! I got 3 seconds. I don't know. What is it? 34. Damn it. Okay. How much time we got left?
15 seconds.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Who plays the? Oh shit. What football star plays one of the agents watching Denzel? This is the easiest question.
Come on, man. Jim Brown.
Come on. All right. Fine. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't even know who won that. We didn't even really
You know
take
what?
score.
We had a good time with it, regardless.
Well, if you don't know what movie we're talking about today, we are taking it back to May 1st, 1998 with the Denzel Washington, Ray Allen feature film debut, the Spike Lee joint, He Got Game. Original release date, May 1st, 1998. Shares opening weekend with Black Dog and Les Miserables. Have you ever seen Black Dog with Patrick Swayze? Rest in peace.
No, I can't say I.
Me neither. I know Meatloaf's in it, but...
Well, that's the problem with it. You got Meatloaf and look, the only good role that Meatloaf's ever played in a movie is Bob with bitch tits in Fight Club.
Yep. You're absolutely
Bob.
right.
Bob has bitch tits.
Box office total 200. Sorry, yeah, here we go. Production budget $25 million with a box office total of $22.4 million.
That's a shame.
Shame. But what's not a shame is 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. I will thoroughly agree with that.
Yes.
Thoroughly agree with that. Okay, so let's kick this bitch off. Let's start with the obvious. With this being a Spike Lee joint, where does this movie rate for you in the Spike Lee joints of joints?
Oh, that's tough because look, early Spike Lee movies don't always age so well. Like I love Malcolm X.
Oh, yeah.
But watching that like nowadays, like you could clearly start like pointing out some of the problems with it. And this is kind of in that middle ground. And I'll give you a perfect example. 1998, how he perceived black males and how everything was there. Go to 2006 and look how he portrays Denzel Washington. You know, Denzel's kind of like this at the time, like the only he did there was no positive figure in Jesus Shuttlesworth's life. Really, the only positive figure was his sister,
which makes it so hard to have a fucking takeaway for this movie.
Exactly, there is no. I'm serious. Tell me the one positive figure, and it doesn't matter what race that Jesus Shuttleworth actually had, because
it's hard. It's really hard. And actually, there's a scene in here. I'm gonna just bring it up. There's a scene in here, and I feel you're gonna agree with this. After Denzel pretty much gets the offer to get out to get Jesus to sign with the governor's alma mater, which is a real scum thing to do too. On top of that, Jake Shuttlesworth, played by Denzel, goes, meets up with the daughter, Mary. Mary brings him back to her new apartment. Of course, Jesus walks in. Now, the very next scene, they go over to the aunt and uncle's place, which I'm going to assume is in the same building.
Right.
And he sits with the uncle, telling them about what happened, and about the fact that they just seen their father. And it starts off cool, but then the scene takes this crazy 180.
Right.
With the uncle all of a sudden going from talk to your dad, son, to all of a sudden, hey man, we need to be compensated to take y'all in.
Right.
What the hell? What did we get? When did we get here? You know what I'm saying? But when you look at that scene again, it definitely shows you the mindset of certain people when you do have that prospect who's getting ready to go really big.
Jay, you lived in LA,
Yes.
right? And when you were out there, and you were looking for your first real big break out there, how would you characterize that? Did you have that same emotion, that same effect from certain people in your life, where they would say, "Oh yeah, no, I'm there for you, but you got to make sure that you're there for me too"?
No, I didn't have that per se. Moms would say it, and you know, it's his mom. So you know, obviously, when you do find that level of success, you want to make sure you know your mother's taken care of.
Of course.
But you know, moms would often teach me like, "Oh well, baby, when you win your Oscar, I just want me a house and yada yada yada." And I said, "Yeah, of course, Mom, no problem." But the thing was, there was never anybody that showed me, "Hey, you're gonna be a fucking leecher,
Right.
5 years from today." You know, and that's what happens in this movie a lot.
It is. Everybody in this movie has their own agenda that they're pushing, you know, and it's really unfortunate. But man, Spike really nailed it on the head when it comes to that. Because think about it: if you were as talented as they were claiming that Jesus Shuttleworth is, this is a guy that you know. Oh, Jordan will give you 35 minutes in a game, but Jesus, he'll give you 40 minutes in a game. And there's some other things that almost kind of didn't make sense with some of the decisions that were made. For example, they touched base because right during this time, think about it. This is 1998, so the first successful college basketball player had the first successful high school basketball player that transferred into the NBA just got in with Kobe Bryant in 1996. So it's like Spike barely touched on that, but there was a study that would later like show up later on where you know, because Jesus was like, we don't have nothing, we don't have no money right now, you know, and the truth is that he still didn't have money going into college. Do you think that's realistic? Do you really think that that if the story played out in real life, that Jesus would have gone into college, or would he have gone straight into the NBA there?
That's a really good question because I
think his intentions are really good.
Yeah, well, I think his intentions are really based off of the memory of his mother.
Right.
His mother has always said, "I want to see you and your sister go to college,"
and that's his positive influence. In all seriousness, that is a positive influence.
But the sad part is that his influence is no longer living.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So he's only forced to deal with the leech around him.
Right.
But I was going to say that rewatching this movie, I got the idea of the LeBron story.
Right.
When I watched More Than a Game, that documentary, which is a great documentary, by the way, watching that documentary and seeing how, you know, when I see this prospect from high school getting ready to really, you know, graduate and college is coming, but the pros are coming too.
Right.
It's like you start to see these agents start sending this prospect all kinds of money and memorabilia and merch and da-da-da, and which is technically illegal. You can't do that. You can't meet with agencies when you're being scouted for college.
There were several things in this movie that had illegal activity that it's not really talked about. It's like fuck the drugs, fuck all that, because we all know that's illegal. What I'm actually talking about is little under the hand deals that could be done. For example, I immediately call. You know why I started cracking up in Del Taco when I was watching this?
Free Wi-Fi.
Free Wi-Fi. I was cracking up because even the coach, who was like, "Oh, I'm like a father to you.
I look at you like a son.
I raised you like like you're my son. I always looked at you that way. You were the kid I've ever coached. Easiest kid I ever coached. I want to make sure that you're taken care of. Remember that? Remember that time when you needed to move out of that house, and we had to move
24 hours you were out.
In 24 hours you were out. That the end of the week that you were out. Remember when you needed rent to be taken care of? Because remember, he is still a high school kid trying to take care. Try to pay for an apartment in New York
with no job.
With no job. No, that ain't happening. That ain't happening, bro. That ain't happening anywhere, but especially New York. You know, and he's just like saying this, and it's like, holy shit, man. Like this kind of shit literally happens all the time. So it's funny because LeBron, he was scouted all the way back in junior high.
All the way back. Yeah, you're right.
He was scouted in junior high. Became the McDonald's All-Star because he was in that showcase before turning down college and becoming this icon in the NBA and an icon in the community, because I definitely got to give my shout outs about that, no matter how much I don't care for his game most of the time. You know, and he's a fantastic human being because of that. But it's like, man, it almost feels like you're watching the recruitment tape of LeBron James a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It goes back to that More Than a Game documentary, because though this is fictional, you know, and it's really we haven't even touched on Denzel and his role in this whole thing yet either, because we're really looking at how these colleges who really want this player, how these pro teams really want this player, and they're willing to break the law to get him on with them. Right. You know what I'm saying? By the time we meet Turturro's character...
hold on. No, because I got to say this. The scene that I found most ironic, though, was when they were when they were showing like the showcase of Jesus Shuttlesworth. And they start going through all the NBA stars, and they start talking about some of the college coaches that were in there. You know who was in there? Rick fucking Pitino, head coach of the Boston Celtics.
I caught him.
Who got kicked off for doing this exact same fucking thing. Are you joking me? How do you get caught? 20 years in the go and you were doing this shit. Are you kidding me?
Like you said, this movie could have been cut down a legit 30 minutes. But I also love the fact that that the journey of the question, where you gonna go? Right. It's literally explored in this movie. Even when he goes to do those site visits, he meets Rick Fox, his character, which I believe is his cousin, right?
It's something like that.
Something like that. And the difference is when you're the man on campus, and the women are throwing themselves at you, and, and it's just a different vibe in itself. But then you look at the overall picture when it comes to like I said, the uncle who wants. You know, he wants to be broken off some money. Then you have the girl Lala, who you think is for him, but it's not really for him because she's sleeping with.
She's trying to get her own thing.
Obviously, you know. But in comes the Denzel side of things. And now, Jake Shuttlesworth, would you call him a bad father?
I would call him...
Or a misguided father. All right.
I would call him a tough dad, but an overall probably not a good person, because it's, especially in that scene, you know, everything was just going wrong during you know, one of the most iconic scenes in the movie, which is where you finally get what happened that night. In this case, the reason why Jake Shuttlesworth is in prison, who's played by Denzel, is because he murdered his wife. It was accidental, but
definitely an accident.
It was definitely an accident, but it's still one of those things where it's like
a domestic violence issue.
Right, it was a domestic violence issue, coupled with alcohol was involved, coupled with tempers rising, and it was a push. It was an absolute push, and still thought it was a little harsh for 15 years, but you know it is what it is. But do I think he's a bad father? I think he was literally trying to do what he thought was right, which I don't consider that being a bad father. But I also think that he refused to kind of change in his ways until the very end of the movie.
Right.
And that's not a bad father. That's just somebody who was completely raised differently, because he was teaching him strong things. Mm-hmm. Somebody pushes you, who cares? You push back. You go and you stay strong. You stay tough. You know, who are you out working tonight? What do you think, Jordan? Oh man, I love that line.
That was a great scene.
God, I love that.
The actual training of Jesus when he's a little boy,
right?
And Jake, and he's just pretty much teaching him the fundamentals of the game.
He's like, what do you think Jordan's doing right now? Jordan's training right now. Are you training?
He said, "There's nobody else but me, you, and Jordan right now."
Exactly. Oh God,
that was a great scene.
Love that line.
And even the next scene when it's a little different now. That Jesus really has his, he can ball. He little kid can ball now. However, now you see Denzel with the the bottle,
right
outside. One of his boys is outside with him, and he's playing a lot more rougher with Jesus. So you see the mental breakdown.
He's also antagonizing him during this entire
incredibly,
time.
but he's doing it off the strength of what do you think they do in the NBA?
Yeah, right, exactly.
What do you think they do in college ball? People are going to talk shit all day.
Right.
People, they're going to play as rough as they can possibly play without getting a penalty for it. That's what they do. So when I say not a bad father, because I feel like when it comes to the father aspect, he did what was best that he can do. Because I feel like he missed his shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, like you said, he's probably a good father, but he's a bad person.
Right.
And it took to the end of the movie for him to really realize him going back to prison. That's pretty much what's going to happen.
Right.
And realize the error of your ways. Because if you put yourself in Jesus' shoes, not only I'm trying to figure out this huge decision. I'm going to the pros. I'm going to college. Not to mention the man that murdered my mom appears out of no fucking where.
A week before I have to make this huge decision.
I need to make amends with him. I need to come up with a decision. I need to just, what am I going to do? And you have everybody around him like, so what you going to do? What you going to do? I couldn't imagine being in that position.
No, it's too much pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, you would literally have to tune out. And it's why one of my favorite scenes in the movie is at the very end, where does he do the fucking press conference? No, he doesn't do it. He has his father figure coach read his decision to decide what was best for his family, which is what it is. But one of the really important aspects of this movie that I really, really appreciated that Spike touched on was everything that comes with trying to make this decision. And how everybody tries to influence you. Now, keep in mind, of course, everybody's going to go out for their own thing. But, in this particular scene, Jake shows up to want to talk to Jesus. And this is when Big Time Willie shows up in his car. And he
one
has
of the best monologues ever in this movie.
And he goes, and Big Time's like, "Oh, I'm out here. I'm looking out for you. My intention is only to be, everybody be talking whatever, and I'm the one covering your tracks. Of course, everybody knows that he's only looking out for himself. But then he goes on to what to kind of expect from the fame and everything's going to come with it. He's like, you have Lala, and that's cool and whatnot. He goes, but women are just going to be throwing themselves at you. Women are just going to be all over you. Let's not even forget about the drugs that's going to be around you. And he is touching literally.
He's spitting some real game.
I mean, it's truth. Like they absolutely. There's this a skit from Bill Burr that always cracks me up. He talks about. Keep in mind, this is strictly a comedy sketch, so you need to take everything here with a grain of salt. But he talks about the greatness of Tiger Woods and how gold digging hoes basically like ruined him, and every sense he goes think about it. You have 40 horny women just coming out of the woodwork, throwing themselves at you, and you're over here joking in your bells of how much of a disgrace you must be. Yeah, because you have 40 women coming up to you in your little Ford Pinto while you're talking shit about it. It's true.
Yeah, very much true.
And that's something that Spike Lee, in some sense, kind of hits it on. obviously there's going to be some people that are going to be well-intentioned, well-mannered, but for the most part, yeah, when you become famous, people only look at you a certain way. You're not necessarily a person to them anymore. You're an icon, and icons, well, icons can be a good and icons can be a bad thing.
I thought the governor's offer to Jake was, it was selfish.
First off, how did Jake not read through that?
How did Jake not read through that and realize the governor, he's not doing shit for you, man?
Right.
He just wants you to get you something to play for his team.
Right.
Because it's literally proven at the end of the movie, governor didn't do nothing for you.
Of course.
You did what you wanted him to do, and he still fucked you over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But technically, he didn't sign to Big State because of you. It's like, come on, man. How did Jake not see through that? I don't understand that.
But I thought the opportunity to make that happen was something that it needed to happen, because even though technically you didn't get what you were promised, you got the biggest gift of all, which is pretty much making amends with your son.
Right.
And before I get to the actual acting of this situation, because Denzel's great. Denzel's always great.
Of course.
Ray Allen. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so
No. I need you to expand on that thought.
all right. You want me to? I will. No problem. Ray Allen can't act. He holds his own, because what I was going to do was, name the best NBA player turned actor, because there's plenty of them. Shaq. Obviously, Shaq's the best in me, hands down. But you also have Darius Miles, who did Perfect Score. You have Ray Allen in this. You have LeBron James in Trainwreck. You have, who am I missing there? Rick Fox in Tyler Perry's whatever the fuck.
Man, no. Rick Fox and Eddie. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
that's crazy, Eddie. Oh, shit. So is Avery Johnson. But I feel as if the writer, which I'm gonna assume is Spike Lee, the writer wrote this strictly for Ray Allen, knowing that his chops wasn't as good as we had hoped.
Right.
So, you put all this talent like Rosario Dawson who plays Lala, Denzel, Bill Nunn, rest in peace, John Turturro, like you have all these A-listers or these, Oscar caliber actors around him. You really can't look all that bad.
Right.
So
it helps.
It definitely helps. If it was like Ray Allen and like Danny DeVito or some shit, it was like, okay, wait a minute, this is just odd,
Danny DeVito.
This is just odd, Like, this is weird.
I love that was the first actor you thought of that was like, I want to think of an actor who can't actually act, but is still kind of a big name. You're like, Danny DeVito.
No, the point I was making was like when you pair Ray Allen with not even just a father like in Denzel, like, okay, at least Denzel can at least coach him through this. So let's say like Danny DeVito like adopted Jesus Shuttlesworth, What? This looks weird. This looks like the number 10 with a super tall 1 and a super small 0. Nah, this is just odd. So not only he can't act, this looks fucking weird, So Ray Allen's what, 6'6", 6'5"?
No, okay. In the movie he's 6'5", but no, Ray Allen's like 6'7".
So in the movie 6'5", Danny DeVito's easily like 5'2". So
I think you're being generous.
I probably am being generous. This looks weird. This looks really odd. This looks like a tall baseball bat and the ball.
You asked me who's my favorite NBA turned actor.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be Rick Fox. More than just Eddie. Rick Fox has also played in Resurrection, and he's played in Oz. And Oz is heavily underrated for those of you who hadn't seen it. He's played in all sorts of different roles, drama to comedy to...
Yeah, it was a good
there.
turnover for him because he got more into acting after he got out of the league.
Right.
So, but he doesn't have that lasting presence to be like...
No, he's not Shaq.
A lead. Shaq, except Kazam.
And Steel.
I will not shade Steel.
No.
Steel is
You
one.
gotta
No,
give
no.
me
Listen,
Steel.
Steel is one of those movies to where, like, you know what?
We're
As
not going to let you
horrible
talk.
As it is,
We're not going to let you talk. You're just going to look big.
really big and intimidating, wearing a whole bunch of metal.
You know who else?
And Judd Nelson's your
You
villain.
know who else looked big, but they let talk? George Morrison and My Giants. Oh yeah, and that was funny.
Only you would bring up fucking My Giant. I haven't seen My Giant in years. Oh my god, Billy Crystal and George Morrison. May he rest in peace too. He's dead, right?
George Morrison's dead.
Yeah, he passed away. Wow. And Morrison was fucking huge. What, he like 7'4"?
He was up there.
He
yeah,
was tall as shit.
but he
Anyway,
was so friggin' funny in that movie.
But the point I'm making is Ray Allen can't act. Moving on. but obviously this is the kind of movie that we'd have to bounce around as far as like how it plays out, because really when it comes to the Spike Lee joint, if you will, he's very much to the point. He's very much. I'm not saying I hate the white man, but he's definitely giving you the plight of the black individual from a different mindset, as far as the one that's getting ready to be successful, and how does one deal with that? How does one deal with that success?
How am I supposed to talk about this? I mean, I'm a
Chime
white
on
man.
in, baby. What's
I'm a white
up?
male. No, man. It's look. Here's why I got.
You're the only white guy I'm beating up. I feel like you got like a grand pass for like speak on black problems.
See. Yeah, I don't think there's
shit.
I don't think as a white male.
How does
there's any-
Kanye make you feel?
Right. Oh, Kanye, yeah, swell guy, right?
Yeah. Mag it up.
Okay, like I said, remember how I said earlier about Spike Lee's older movies kind of show a different take on what he shows now. Mm-hmm. Okay, at least he's so on the dot with some of the ridiculousness that white people may have, but I still felt like, come on, man. Like not every white individual is going to be this absolutely god-awful person they have, because if you're a white female in this movie, all you care about is having sex with black males.
Great segue. I was just about to bring up Mila Jovovich, and with her,
It's more than just that. What about the two girls at Tech University?
yes, I forgot about those hoes. Okay, I forgot about them.
Come on, and then the thirsty. Come on, man. Rick Fox is literally looking at two other girls and was like, kiss him. And they were cool with it. And then there's this group of like 7 other girls that just comes up and is all like, they're like, oh, Jesus, Shuttleworth. Come on, man. The thirst is real in this movie.
Listen, man, I've been to college.
Okay, now, hold on. And then if you're a white male, if you're not being oppressive, which is
Shut
the
up,
cop,
oppressive.
which is the cop and the and the governor. Then,
Shut up, oppressor.
then you have to be absolutely eccentric, which is John Turturro's character, and what might be my favorite role I've ever seen him in. Because how ironic, by the way, is it that John Turturro in the same year is praying for Jesus and actually played Jesus as a character in The Big Lebowski.
Even on a side note, I love the fact that Turturro and Spike Lee have such a great relationship.
Yes.
He's been in a lot of Spike Lee joints.
Yes.
And also, furthermore, Denzel and Spike have a fantastic relationship.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I mean, they've been in 4 movies.
more than that. Wait, 4. Yeah, number 4 was Inside Man. You're right.
Inside Man,
Mo Better Blues, He Got Game, and Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So now the new Denzel Spike is really Denzel and Fuqua.
Yeah,
But
because they've been in 4 movies.
officially 4 movies.
Yeah.
But the one thing I can always turn to when it comes to Spike Lee movies, the cinematography is going to be odd.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Usually it's that one floating scene.
He just has random scenes throughout where they're just like showing like something from his past. It's like, what does this have to do in relation? With
Nothing.
this?
You know what?
It's like so Terrence Malick.
Thank you. Perfect example. Because I'm gonna call out 2 parts in this movie. One is the opening credits, with that really it would seem misplaced.
It was a 3-minute basketball. Like we already know it's about basketball.
Right, but I'm talking more so about the music.
Oh, Yeah.
The
I
music-
wanted to talk about that.
This is odd. This is a really odd way to. But okay, tell me if I'm tripping. Let me know. But I'm gonna skip this scene because that was an odd opening. But the first scene we get with Jesus and Booger playing against the guys in the park, right? That song that plays, that is a song from a very popular commercial.
Right.
What commercial is that?
Oh, the Chariots of Fire song?
No, not Chariots of Fire. I want to say it, back in the day, it promoted like cat food.
Oh man, I can't tell you.
God damn. But it definitely, but that song, like during that very first one, basketball game that we get at the park with Jesus and Booger, and they're playing those guys, and there's a song conducted by the same guy that pretty much conducted this movie that was made popular in a cat commercial, a cat food commercial. Anyway, that's beside the point. Going back to Spike Lee. Spike Lee has always had this real knack for a visual flair.
Yes.
That it's like, it's odd. Sometimes the coloring is weird. The framing is weird. But
It works.
It works. Like, a Spike Lee joint when you're watching a Spike Lee joint.
Right.
And he's done that in every movie. Like, from even something serious like Inside Man, where it's basically an action thriller. And,
it is.
And movies like Summer of Sam, Jungle Fever.
Oh, I forgot Summer of Sam.
Which is a great movie, by the way.
I need to rewatch that.
Summer of Sam is great. I love Summer of Sam. That's a great movie. Inside Man's great too. But you can always count on a Spike Lee movie to have the guy thinking to himself, but he's floating, like he's not really walking, but he's floating in a sense. You can always count on Spike to have a really odd framing on something.
Or like how all of a sudden magic is there, like the ending scene where he throws the ball over the prison wall, and then that lands.
Let's hold off on that because that's actually my iconic scene.
Oh, okay.
Just to, because even as you watch the movie play out, it gives you that it does give you that sense of peace,
right?
Because we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
All right, so Mila Jovovich and her pimp was named what?
Oh,
Sweetness.
Sweetness, yeah.
Sweetness was a character. Sweetness was a dude that I beat your ass. I'd fuck you up. I could just say.
Sweetness was a 1970s pimp. You know who he was? He was Sho'nuff from The Last Dragon.
He was
without fighting skills.
He was Sho'nuff went through a seriously like 10-year crack binge. He realized, you know what?
Yeah.
I gotta start pimping because apparently this crack ain't where it's at. But I love the parallel between Mila's character and Denzel's character because they're both people with a troubled past
and fucked up history overall.
Super fucked up history. So when they hook up, they have their quote unquote sex scene that of course Jake pays for, but he
first off, that's what's so be. No. Jake didn't pay for it. No, the cops paid for it. The cops gave him the money. He has no money. I was sitting there and I was like, how's he buying new Nikes?
They gave him money when they first got to the hotel. They gave him some spending money.
So I forgot about that.
He spent it on Jordans.
On Jordans, right? But then he asked for more money. And he basically pays the cops paid for it.
Yeah. I mean, they're not such assholes, even though when they first show up on the scene, they look like fucking cock suckers. Anyway.
Right.
But the parallel between them, they understand each other.
Yes.
And they're basically people with a troubled past.
Right.
Now getting to the end. Jesus does decide to go to the governor's school, or so we're told. And that ending scene just resonates with me so well because when he throws the ball. And it's a figuratively, he throws the ball over and it comes over the prison wall so Denzel can catch it. So it's almost like Jesus sending his hope and his love back to his pops.
Right.
Which is now rewatching. I'm like, he's not gonna forgive his dad.
No.
Like every time they interacted with each other, I mean, the more and more they interacted, they got the wall came down more and more, but. From the very first interaction to how the movie ends, and he throws the ball, and Jake catches the ball, just looks up like, I'm sending that love right back to you.
I don't think he would forgive him. Okay. First off, I have to assume he's 18 years old. All right. Because if not, then the sex scene with the two women, that's underage. Spike, what are you doing? Once again,
I'm quite sure he's over 18 at this point.
We'll go ahead and say he's 18 because
Yes.
he still decided, but he's still high school. But whatever, right? Whatever. I don't think he would forgive him now, but I do think that once Jake got out and everything was kind of set and sold, I don't think Jake would go out of his way to like really try to look him up, because he'll be well off and famous at that point. Maybe he would send the same letter that he could again, and then at that point, do I think Jesus would forgive him?
I think had we continued, he got game from that scene on. I feel as if Jake would go to the pros, obviously.
Jesus would go to.
So Jesus would go to the pros, obviously. But then I also think once Jake had served his time, Jesus would actually be there to come and get him.
That's fair.
And
I can agree with that.
And to relaunch what has been a sour turn, redeveloping, kind of working its way back to being a father-son relationship. Right. You can't forgive the man that murdered your mom.
No, but you can't. But
you can forgive, but you can't forgive.
But
go question. You forgive, you can't forget. There we go.
It's tough because Spike really tried to touch religion on this a little bit. Mm-hmm. With both of them pretty well knowing the Bible in there because there was a mention in Samson and Delilah, for example. And I think if that would have continued, then yes, I could definitely see all of that playing out, everything that he stated. But it's still at that point in the movie, no, he wouldn't have forgave him.
No, it was too soon, but you could definitely see the walls coming down.
Yeah, the walls were definitely coming down.
Well, that's He Got Game. As you can see, we're not going scene for scene on this one because it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a movie that gives you that emotional tone of forgiveness, of tragedy, of what do you do when the spotlight's on you and everybody around just practically got their hand out.
Yeah. Do you think this movie could be remade?
It can. Definitely. It can. But the way that, things are kind of playing out as far as and it's weird because even the Me Too movement will play into this as well because when we're talking about, first of all, the sweetness, Mila Jovovich.
Probably doesn't play scene.
That doesn't play out well in this. But as far as the showing Jesus of the temptation of once you get to this certain point, it's still very relevant, completely relevant.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree.
So I would say it could be remade today for sure. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. No, it's funny because Bleacher Report just came out with they had I didn't watch it, but they had this 2-minute video. They were like, he got game 20 years later. And I was like, we're doing that.
All right.
But they were basically showing she got game. Now, again, I didn't watch it, but I could see some things in there. Although, in some senses, I'm kind of interested because what sort of temptation would a female athlete face versus a male athlete?
I have this exact talk today. I said, I don't want to see a She Got Game. That's not saying women can't be ballers, but we have a whole league dedicated to women ballers. But I feel as if She Got Game made today, you have to tread extremely softly as far as what you can and cannot do versus showing in He Got Game an actual issue that this dude is facing.
No, I agree. And that's see, here's the thing. People don't think that's an issue, and that's what the hilariousness is. They would say, oh, he's just being privileged because all these awesome things are happening to him because these things aren't happening to other people. Mm-hmm. But the truth of the matter is that look, even if you become famous and you become big, you don't always ask for that lifestyle. A lot of people would kind of prefer to just be really, really good at what they do. It's a fact that everybody else celebrates them for what they do, and then they get paid for what everybody else celebrates. So it's one of those things that it's true. And You know what? I gotta agree. I can't. It can't be. She Got Game has got to be. It's got to be a pretty airtight script. Like it's got to be
airtight.
I mean, to be honest, it's got to really paint men in somewhat a terrible picture in some way, shape,
Which it will.
Right.
It definitely will.
Because that's what happens to me currently.
We are pieces of shit.
Right. We are.
Doo-doo to be exact. Takeaways. Dave, who's getting your That Guy Award?
It's tough because
this is the most toughest part of the whole show.
It's tough because I kind of have to give it to Jesus Shuttleworth here. Not because of the acting, but because of the story that has to be told. Because of the story of this is an immensely talented player who is going to go on to bigger and better things. This is something that he worked for. This wasn't he was already talented, but he worked hard to develop this. And that's something that everybody forgets about athletes, I swear to God. And he had this upbringing that, man, that's tough to do, where in some senses he had to, because who knows how much of an influence Uncle What's-His-Face
Uncle Bubba?
Uncle, sure, yeah, Uncle Shithead in my eyes, was in terms of trying to raise him as well.
You're trying to squeeze us out the money.
You're trying to squeeze.
Come on now, son.
So yeah, it's definitely Jesus.
Although
fair point to John Turturro, real quick, because his character was iconic as fuck, man.
Yeah,
he was hilarious.
We're
all gonna pray, and I'm like. You are not going to pray to Jesus about Jesus.
But you know what? When he hit you with that "don't blow it" line,
right?
You sense like he's being fucking for real,
right?
Like he's super being for real. That chick award.
I give it to his little sister.
Okay.
You know what? She was a good character. Like this is a little girl that didn't understand everything that's happening right now, and still doesn't understand everything that's happening right now. But you can't help but feel like, man, I really hope whatever happens at the end of this movie, I hope that she's the one that's being taken care of. Which I never had a doubt in my mind that wasn't going to happen. But even like little small tidbit things that she would do when she was like, oh, well, I heard all my friends that we're going to be like big and famous right now, so I don't even want to go to school anymore. And that dynamic relationship that they had, that felt genuine to me.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Who is getting this Fool Award?
Everybody that is not Jesus Shuttleworth or the little sister. Literally,
rack them up. Let's go.
Literally, I mean, I guess not big time Willie also, because at least he was kind of being for real, but also being fake at the same time. But everybody in this movie is a fool. Everybody.
Let's not forget that pussy. I spell pussy. Puhiv. Oh wow. Okay. All right. I love that line. That's a great line. Cut that out.
Spike Lee's little tidbits of trying to throw small little flashbacks here and there. When I say there's 30 minutes of this movie that could be cut down, it's cleaning up the cinematography. I can't tell you which specific scene, but I promise you, if you and I watched the movie, you would say, cut that out, cut that out, cut that out. You can extend that scene. You can cut this scene shorter. Things like that. His cinematography is just weird.
And iconic scene.
I'm actually going to say the car ride, the big time car ride. It's there's a real sense of reality in there that just, what I felt like it was more than anything. It felt like, first off, clever of Spike, because what does he do here? He chooses a white actor to
Roger Guinevere Smith is a guy who's been in a lot of Spike movies. He's definitely black.
Is he?
Yep. I believe his mom was white.
So he's mixed.
Yes. Okay. Well, you have a point. Yeah, never mind.
All right. So
he's mixed.
So he's mixed.
There's white in there.
All right.
For sure.
He takes a mixed actor and it's almost as if he wanted to just like, okay, you ever seen Mr. Robot?
Glimpses.
Okay, first episode, season 1. There's this really famous scene. Where they say, "What's on your mind?" And he goes off onto this like a minute and a half rant about how so many people lie to you throughout the day, and how we all thought our heroes were not heroes. It's a very nihilistic type of view. Mm-hmm. I felt like that entire scene was literally Spike Lee putting a microphone into somebody else's hands and giving them a cue card and say, "These are my thoughts, but I need you to communicate them."
Yeah, because even the breakdown of he goes from drugs to the alcohol to the women,
right,
to the most important thing, which is the money.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it went, right? The money.
Yeah.
So it was like getting a great monologue in like storybook coloring book form.
Of course, but it felt like a soapbox moment for it. It felt like if Spike could literally just like wrote a fuck you letter to Hollywood. Mm-hmm. That's and fame and everything that kind of came with it. It was that moment right there.
Wow. And so that's your iconic scene?
That's it. That's my iconic scene.
My That Guy award, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Jake. Not because of Denzel, and he's the fucking man, but because he was able to find his own sense of peace, find his own sense of...
He had the most growth.
The most growth, because, he got out on this work release program, in quotation marks, which, by the way, the way they got him out was fucking genius. Have pretty much get food poisoning,
right,
to get him out the jail. But the way the movie plays out, going up until the very last scene, he has one. He's the one with the best arc.
Yes,
the strongest arc, if you will. And he realized, like, you gotta you made a genuine mistake. You need to face consequences.
You know what? And kudos to Denzel here, because this is when he really started pushing for those acting roles, and where he was really trying to land an Oscar at that time, mm-hmm. because the next year
he had one for Glory,
right? But he was
he wanted one for his own,
mm-hmm. And that's what I mean. He was really pushing. Because think about it, he had that 3-year arc where it was this. Hurricane, and then in 2001 was Training Day. Mm-hmm. So he was really, really good acting by Denzel here. No doubt about it. Who's that chick award?
I'm gonna give it to the little sister, because above all else, she's the only one who doesn't know what's going on, like you said, but yet she's about her brother. Right. She also is forced, like her brother, to still deal with the fact that you haven't seen your father forever,
right? And
your mother's gone.
Yeah, that's tough.
So you need to, and then you watch your aunt and uncle who took you guys in. Kind of. Basically got the hand out, and no deal's been signed yet, but it's just they're expecting money to come in, and they want to be broken off first.
He straight up buys a Lexus for the kid. Does he realize that he still has to do 4 years of college?
I mean, if he goes, yeah, but it's just like, chill out. Jesus Christ. Like, it just... It's something about the little girl and her purity is what I would say makes her my That Chick award.
Right.
This fool, oh man, it's gonna have to go to the uncle.
That's fair.
Because
there's nothing wrong with that.
Because when he switches up, he switches up so fast. Mind you, he literally just told Jesus, "Go see your daddy." See what he, hear him out. See what he wants to talk to you about. When are we getting paid?
Right.
What the fuck? What? And not only that, he puts up a full-blown argument as to why he shouldn't be paid.
What
happened to taking in the kids for the love of the kids?
Right.
Listen there, son, me and your auntie, we sacrificed a lot, and I feel we deserve some compensation. Motherfucker, we ain't puppies.
There's some lotto winners out there that if they ever do listen to this, they're like, man, I know exactly how that person feels.
I feel especially for listen, man. Oh, so you won $8.5 million? No, well, look here, Bridget. Remember when your car broke down on 995 and 4 in the morning?
Where the fuck did you pull Bridget from?
I had a newborn baby. I just worked a double. And I drove my last bit of gas, get you some gas. I need to be compensated, Bridget. Okay? I need to be compensated. Okay?
Who names their daughter Bridget? You want to know who was named Bridget? A dog. Yeah, literally a dog. My aunt's dog's name was Bridget.
I know her, Bridget.
Really?
Yes.
Is she nice?
She's cool.
Okay.
I haven't seen her in years, but I do know Bridget, though. Okay, moving on.
Does she go by a nickname?
No, she goes by Bridget.
She goes by Bridget.
Or B.
Okay.
Bridget, yeah. Cut that out. Cut that out was going to be the uncle going to 180. But I've already used him as the fool. So my cut that out was going to be this odd orchestra music that Spike Lee decides to put in a lot of these basketball scenes. It's just like, is it meant to just kind of throw you off? Is it meant to be like, oh, this is a prestigious basketball game? You know, but like, I don't get it. Who scored this shit? Was it Aaron Zigman?
Aaron Copeland.
Aaron Copeland. And of course, Public Enemy did the actual songs. But
no, I was cool with Public Enemy's part.
I was good with that. Good with that. But as far as the orchestration of certain basketball scenes, I'm like, whoa. The opening scene, I'm like, this is a loud song for basketball. It's a really loud song. I'll cut that out. Iconic scene. I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier. The throwing of the ball from where Jake is at big time state or big state to where Jesus is at big state to where Jake is pretty much behind the walls.
Right.
Because it just symbolizes a growing bond that was diminished at one point between father and son.
Right.
So for me, it was a great way to end the movie. Fantastic.
It was. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. All right, let's get into quick hits. We can wrap this thing up. Quick hits. Spike Lee originally wanted Kobe Bryant to play the part of Jesus Shuttlesworth. While Kobe liked the script and the idea of working with Spike, he had just finished his rookie year in the NBA and had shot several air balls in a brutal playoff loss by the Lakers to the Utah Jazz, and planned a workout program that would help him maintain his strength through the longer NBA seasons, a major adjustment as Kobe went straight from high school to the pros. So, he told Spike the summer of 1997 was too important to spend time making the film, and Spike promptly sought out Ray Allen, who quickly accepted the lead role.
So, Spike Lee has been nominated for an Oscar, but has he won?
No.
So Kobe Bryant has an Oscar before Spike Lee does.
Before Spike Lee does. Jackie Chan has the Oscar before Spike Lee does.
Oh, yeah. That's Jackie Chan.
Yeah. I mean, he'll get one. He'll get one.
I hope so.
This movie
he's been around forever.
He'll get an honorary one before anything else.
Yeah, that's
that I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Well, let's be real. Black Klansman comes out later on this year, so we'll see how that plays out.
I don't have a lot of high hope for it.
Yeah. This movie was filmed in 23 days.
I can see that.
Feels like it.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of, effects are used.
I really feel like because Ray Allen came out of UConn in '96.
And by the time he's shooting this, he was with Seattle, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was with Supersonics because he didn't get traded to the Celtics until like 06 or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, so it really it pretty much had to go around his schedule, and then everybody else could do solo shots.
Right. Spike Lee's first film to open at number 1 at the U.S. box office. Wow.
Really? Malcolm X they opened number 1?
That I remember didn't open at number 1. Well, I wasn't. We were alive when it came out, but I don't recall it opening at number 1. But since then, Jungle Fever didn't open at number 1. What came after that? Crooklyn. Mo Better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I can kind of see that.
I mean, cool.
Hill Harper portrays a teenager in high school in the film. At the time, he was 31 years old.
Of course, you know what? Of course he was.
He looks old as fuck. Like, wait a minute, no. No, dude, no. That's like us playing 18 years old now.
I was cracking up in that scene where the guy's like, "You want the ball? You want the ball? Fine." And he throws it 3/4
Go
of the
get
court.
it, doggy.
Go get it, doggy. And he goes and it swishes. It's like, oh my god, I made that shit. Can you see that? I was like, that is such a high school thing.
Oh yeah, because normally if you throw the ball behind you and it just so happens to go in the hoop, you're feeling like big time shit
Oh,
now.
no
like,
doubt about it.
Hey, kiss my ass. Oh, yeah. Okay. The shoes that Jake purchases at the store are the Air Jordan 13s.
Okay.
I had a pair.
Did you?
I did. I had the 13s and I also had the Dove Zeros, orange and white Dove Zeros.
I think the only big shoe I've ever bought, like
The Shaqs.
Nope. The Kobe 2s.
I remember the Kobe 2s.
The space the spacesuit shoes. You get the silver ones, and I mean, man, you are ready for Mars.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're ready to fly, baby. Last but not least, the first major motion picture written and directed by Spike Lee, not to have a performance by him in it.
I saw that one coming.
Which is cool. I don't mind seeing Spike acting certain stuff. This one just didn't need a Spike cameo. We just didn't need it.
No, it didn't.
You know. And as time progresses,
Unless he was going to play a coach to, offer him money.
Nope,
Some shit.
didn't want to see it because you be like, listen, these white men, they gonna offer you some bullshit. Me, the brother, is gonna offer you some real shit. But that's it. That's He Got Game for you. This was fun.
Yeah, no, it was a good movie. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again.
I'll be watching that in another 10 years probably.
Well, yeah, and it'll probably be a 10-year thing.
Probably, God forbid, Spike or Denzel or everybody dies.
After I watch the whitest basketball movie in the world,
Hoosiers.
It really is. I'm sorry.
That's white privilege. But Dave, let people know where they can find you.
You can always find me on Instagram at DavidFTransforms. I am also co-host here at Back to the Classics, the
cinematic movie podcast that takes you back to the
podcast.
iconic film 20 years ago. Say it 4 times fast.
Do you like wake up in the morning and memorize that?
I'm not gonna lie. My daughter told me one time I said it in my sleep.
No way.
Yeah, she came in my room to ask me something, and like, Dad, like I heard you say the catchphrase for your show.
The catchphrase for the show.
I'm like, no, that's not really a catchphrase, but all right, cool.
So yeah, David Transforms on Instagram. I'm also the co-host here at Back to the Classics podcast, part of the Beat Network family here. We are going to continue forward, obviously, with the rest of the summer, and whatever reviews basically come.
We got
out
some
during
good
that time.
shit coming.
I know. Next week's movie, I'm so excited for.
Yes,
we finally start getting to like the blockbusters.
Yes,
like the true blockbusters.
It was a slow 98. 98 was really slow. Getting to the good shit.
That March was rough.
Who it was? We improvised our ass off that month, boy. But yeah, definitely. A lot of great guests coming up that I cannot wait to announce. You can find me on all the social media simply at IMJ Alonzo. That's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. The Big Four. You talk to me, I'll talk back. The Back to the Classics Instagram page is up and popping at BTTC Podcast. Of course, the Back to the Classics Movie Talk group is up. I gotta find out who the hell is posting these random ass transsexual twerk videos on the page.
Where?
I catch every once in a blue moon. Who keeps putting this on there?
Where is it on like Facebook?
Yeah, the Movie Talk group. I'll find out. Anyway, shout out to all you guys who participate in the Movie Talk group. We definitely appreciate it. And with that being said, we'll be back next week with a whole nother one. I'm Jay Alonzo with my guy.
David Snazzy Neff.
David Snap with the blue shirt on, looking like he's going to go golfing right now.
Right now.
Back to the Classics. We're back next week. Peace.